Jaylo,
Yes?
you were just upset because I moved a pillow off of your couch.
No, you're just... I was a little... Well, I've been kind of annoyed because you just put it in the middle of my coffee table and it doesn't belong there.
Where should it be put at then?
You could... I don't know. You could put it on the... Maybe you could put it on the floor or just leave it on the couch and don't lie down.
See, I think you'd be more annoyed if it was on the floor.
But it doesn't belong on the table, Bubs.
Okay.
I don't know why you would put it there.
It's the closest thing to your couch that I can think of that's a safe spot. For some reference, your couch is riddled with...
Riddled? It's not riddled, it's decorated.
Decorated. Very liberally decorated with pillows.
I thought you liked pillows.
I do to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But how many are on that couch? There's got to be...
There is... Oh, wait. Let's see. There's 4.
5 or 6?
There's 4. And then there's also... there's also that one big pillow. Because I don't know why my mom bought that pillow, to be honest.
So that's 5.
That's 5.
And you can move that big pillow in here and have another one.
No, but there's 2 other pillows in here, too. I don't know what. I have no idea. Those are nice pillows, too, that I haven't used yet.
Cool.
Yeah.
But there's no really room to sprawl out on your couch. And even you would admit that.
No, because it's not really... I mean, there's only room for one person to lie down there. And the only reason why I would ever lie down there is if it was hot in my room.
This may make me sound weird. I love lying down on the couch.
I do, too.
Yeah.
But I wish my couch was wider. I really do.
So what do you do when I'm not here if you like to lie down?
Well, I don't lie down on my couch very much.
Because there's too many pillows?
No, because I usually like lying down on my bed. But because my couch isn't wide enough, right? I wish it were wider so there would be a little bit more room to spread out. But it isn't.
Oh.
And there wouldn't be any room like... I remember when I was living in a one-bedroom apartment with my sisters, and that was kind of a nightmare. And I mean, we got through it, but it was really hard. We had this couch that folded out into a bed. You know those couches.
I have one of those.
Yeah, those are nice, but they're really big. I'm surprised we were able to fit that thing in the house.
Not all of them are.
Yeah,
giant.
not all of them are. It would be nice if it folded out into a bed, though.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I like my couch. Sometimes there are times where I have taken short naps on the couch.
Mm-hmm. What do you do in those situations? Because there's no room to lie down.
Yeah, there is.
Where do you put the pillow?
I just leave it there, and I just there's only really one. There's only really room for one person, and that's probably why you feel like you can't spread out, because I'm sitting on the couch and you're lying.
No, but when you were in the shower, I was lying on your couch and I moved the big pillow.
Yeah.
So I guess my question again, let me rephrase it, is the times, I know they're few and far between, when you've lied down on your couch and I'm not here. How do you manage to make that work without moving any of the pillows off?
I just make it work. I just lean on one of the pillows.
Wow. And you keep the big one there?
Yeah.
You are much more inventive than I am.
I just keep the big one there, or, I rearrange the pillows or whatever, and I don't lie there very much because, like I said, it's not a very wide couch. And it's only nice for one person, but... It's hard if there's... I mean, we've made it work.
Yeah.
Where were lying down and I was sitting down, but it's really... I honestly think it's meant for one person.
And oftentimes, babes, I'll hear, Bob, time to hang up now. And then I'll get up and then you'll start lying down.
No, I wasn't...
That's happened before.
No. I wasn't fully lying down. I was just leaning up against one of the pillows.
Oh my goodness.
There's a difference there. When you're lying down, you're actually lying down with your legs in front of you.
Well, I love you, babes. Speaking of debating,
Yeah.
I was watching some VladTV this morning.
Uh-huh.
There's a real estate guy, I think his name is Jay Morrison.
Uh-huh.
I don't know much about him, but Vlad and Jay started debating about real estate.
Oh, interesting.
And is it really as profitable as people think it is?
Mm-hmm.
Vlad... Oh.
I'm not going to get it.
Hold on. I wonder who that was.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Probably one of your relatives. Vlad was making the argument that owning your own home is a little bit overrated, and I think I would agree with him on that one.
How's that?
Because for the first 15 to 20 years you have a mortgage, you're just paying off the interest. You're not even getting to the principal. If you miss a payment, the bank can come in and take your house, and all the money you've invested in it is basically wasted. If there's home repairs, you still have to pay for those. You have to pay property taxes. So unless you're planning to live in a home for like 50 years, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I felt that way way before I've seen Vlad talk about it.
It can be stressful, I guess. My ex's mom paid off. She actually paid off the house that her and her then husband and him were living in, and this, of course, was back in the 70s.
Okay.
That they bought the house, and now it is in his name. So I don't know how that works. I don't see myself buying a house in the future, at least not right now. It's just like you also have to pay for the upkeep. You have to hire people to like, I know that there are ways for people like us to buy condos or to have a condo, but it's a lot of work. It really is.
I've told you that a very good friend of mine moved to Oregon, and a year and a half later, he decided to buy a house.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
I was the only one who reached out to him with an email, basically giving him the rundown of, these are the reasons why you shouldn't do it. Didn't listen to me. Within 6 months, regretted it.
Wow. I think it helps if you're a married couple and you're planning to have a family. You are going to need a place for your family, and I think it would be different if you were actually living with more than one person.
Maybe. I could see that.
But if you're just one guy or one girl owning a house, unless you have enough money to maintain the house, you shouldn't buy one.
No.
Because I don't have that kind of money right now.
Oh, I was going to ask you to put a down payment for me.
No.
And I'll take over once you've paid off the interest in like 15 to 20 years.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I can't do that. No.
Banks are evil, babes.
Huh?
Banks are evil.
Oh.
Yes.
They can be.
Yes.
I think it's more understandable if there were more than one person moving into that house.
Nice.
That's what I think.
Good.
But that's just me.
Yes. I also watched an interview that Tavis Smiley did with VladTV earlier this morning. But Vlad wasn't the interviewer. It was some dude named Sean.
Oh, wow.
Who was actually really good. I've never heard of him before. Sometimes Vlad will have other people do the interviews. Most of the time, they're not that good. Like, I remember he had some lady interview Too Short, and she sounded like she was kind of young and didn't really know his stuff.
Yeah.
That was disappointing.
Wow.
But the guy Sean actually did a really good interview, even though I would have loved to have seen Vlad's take on it.
Yeah.
I've been a Tavis Smiley fan since probably the late 90s when he was still on BET. But there's a lot I learned about him.
Really?
He came from a house with 10 kids, but it's probably a little bit different than you think it would be.
Mm-hmm.
So his mom has him,
Mm-hmm.
and things don't work out between the mom and the dad.
Yeah.
She marries another man, and the guy adopts Tavis
Mm-hmm.
and has his name changed to Smiley, right? And Tavis has been with this guy, as a parent since he was 2 years old. And Tavis said, for the purposes of this interview, I'll refer to him as my stepfather, but I really think of him as just my dad.
Yeah, well, he adopted him since he was 2. Wow.
Yep. But it gets crazier than that. So the mom and the stepdad have kids. Mm-hmm. I think she's pregnant with the couple's third child.
Mm-hmm.
Her sister dies suddenly. Mm-hmm. The sister had 4 kids. 4 kids are sent to live with the grandmother, but aren't there for very long because the grandma is in bad health.
Yeah.
And the family learns that the kids are going to be separated. The stepdad says, we can't let that happen. Mm-hmm. So they go and adopt the 4 kids. Wow. Now, Tavis said that at this point, the stepdad is only like 28. But he took on the responsibility of Tavis and 4 other kids that weren't his. Wow. And Tavis said like a couple years later, his grandma had to move in because her health was so bad.
Oh.
So his stepdad sounds like a really cool dude.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded like he had to grow up really fast, but he was willing to do that.
The only thing that was questionable is the stepdad and mom are very religious.
Why is that
What?
Why is that questionable? He probably had a really good upbringing. Even
you want to know why it's questionable?
Why is that?
Because I love you. As I kiss the back of your hands.
Oh my goodness.
They're Pentecostals.
It would be... Okay. Well, it would be more questionable if they were not paying their rent and they were drug addicts, but they wanted to collect kids. That would be questionable.
Oh.
Bubs.
Babes. I have Pentecostals in my family, but I really don't know a whole lot about it besides
I do.
The people speak in tongues.
They're very strange. I will say that.
Oh.
I never really got fully caught up in that. I had a lot of questions, but they are strange.
Interesting.
They are.
Yeah. So Tavis said that he was the oldest in his family, but he had older cousins. So when they were adopted, he goes from being the oldest to the third oldest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And he still thought of them as his cousins, even though his stepdad adopted them?
No, he said once they were adopted, they pretty much became his brothers and sisters, too.
Wow.
And he said that a couple years before the interview, which was maybe 6 months ago, he was looking through some old papers and found the court transcripts of when his father adopted him and had his name changed.
Oh.
And to hear Tavis tell it, he said that he didn't love his dad anymore because he already, felt so much love for him already.
He couldn't love his dad any more than he did.
But he respected him a lot more once he read the actual transcripts about why his dad wanted Tavis to have his last name and why he wanted to adopt him.
What did it say?
He didn't go into the details. He said, though, that if he would start talking about it more, he'd probably start crying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's really cool. And his parents are still alive?
They're still alive, or at least they were at the time of the interview. I think they're probably in their late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, I thought Tavis was a lot older than that.
No, he's only in his early 50s, I think.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's been around for a while, though. That's probably why you thought that.
Yeah, I did. I did. So he was probably born sometime in the 70s.
Or late 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tavis talks about going to school, and somebody who was a mentor to him was good friends with Jim Brown, the football player who also acted and was big into lacrosse.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Breast cancer survivor Jim Brown.
He was?
Yep.
Wow. You don't hear a lot about male breast cancer survivors except for him and Montel Williams.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. So Tavis wants to intern for the mayor of Los Angeles in maybe 85 or 86.
Yeah.
And writes him letters,
Mm-hmm.
maybe once a month. The mayor's office eventually reaches out to him and says, one, you're out of state.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's the main reason. And two, we already have all these positions filled. So you can't intern here. But Tavis really wanted this gig. Instead of typing up the next response, he makes a handwritten letter, is crying, gets some of the ink mushed because of his tears, sends it, and maybe a month later gets a call back from the mayor, says, the next time you're out in LA, I want to meet you.
Oh.
So Tavis flies out there 3 days later, meets with the mayor, does an internship, comes back for a semester, finishes his schoolwork, and then ends up working with that mayor for like another 4 or 5 years, and says that guy became like a second father to him. Wow. I forget who was the mayor in Los Angeles in like 85, but it's like
he showed the mayor that he was really serious about it because he was crying.
Well, I guess because he just was so persistent.
Yeah.
And that guy is now dead, but Tavis said that they were super close.
Wow.
Yeah. Then he gets involved with Tom Joyner. He gets his gig at BET, becomes friends with Prince. It was just a really incredible interview.
Wow.
Yeah. And he talked a lot about Prince in the interview. He was telling a story about how, I guess Tavis did the BET show in DC and his radio program in LA at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So Tavis is still religious. Mm-hmm. Because of that, the only day he could sleep in was Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
One Saturday in the late 90s, it's maybe 6:45 in the morning, gets a call, person says, this is Prince. Tavis immediately hangs up on them. Okay? Couple minutes later, phone rings again. He answers it. Other end, he hears, this is really Prince. Hangs up the phone again. Couple minutes later, phone rings again. Picks it up. The guy says, don't hang up on me. This is the hotel I'm staying at. Call them and say that you want to talk to me. So now Tavis is starting to think this is weird. This might really be him. Calls the hotel. The person at the front desk says he's waiting to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Prince tells him, I want to have lunch with you today if you're free. So he goes over to the hotel a few hours later, thinking that the meeting is only going to last for an hour. It ends up going like 4 hours. And Tavis said that Prince wanted to get a sense of who Tavis was before going on his talk show. And apparently, I didn't know this, that was the first time that Prince had ever been on BET. So he goes on the talk show and they strike up a friendship that lasted until the end of Prince's life. And he said that they'd hang out in person. Sometimes they'd have these really long conversations and that they were just cool with each other. Mm-hmm. Which is really interesting.
Wow. Interesting.
He talked about, the Michael Jackson stuff.
Yeah, wow.
With Prince.
He said that he talked to him until the morning, right?
What had happened was Michael Jackson died.
Mm-hmm.
And Prince is preparing to do some live performance. Don't ask me where. But he had this entire floor to a hotel by himself. Or for himself, rather. Because he's Prince.
Yeah.
Right? He's the purple one.
He's the purple one. Yeah.
Tavis goes to the performance. And afterwards, he and somebody else, I forgot who it was, go to Prince's hotel floor. Mm-hmm. I wanted to say area, but I wasn't quite sure how to phrase it.
The floor.
Yeah. They talk until dawn about Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. And what Prince thought about him.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty interesting. And Tavis said that out of all the conversations he had with Prince, he wishes that he would have recorded that one.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been interesting.
I'm sure it was. Yeah. And he even said when he got back to his hotel that night, he scribbled down as many notes as he could remember from the evening.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. At least he has like a somewhat of a documented thing for his memory.
I get it, though. It would have been cool to have that recorded.
Yeah.
And really get a sense of Prince's thoughts on Michael Jackson.
Because you're recording happy.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. You would have taken out your mixer and...
I learned it from Tavis.
Oh, my.
Except I wasn't smiling, or you weren't.
No, I wasn't.
There's a lot of cool stories about Prince in the interview, but the one that really stands out to me, after Tavis is fired from BET,
mm-hmm.
a few years later, he gets a gig on PBS. Mm-hmm. Have you watched this PBS show?
No, I mean, I know who Tavis Smiley is, but I was never interested in watching his show.
Okay. So you didn't even see the BET stuff?
I don't believe that, no.
Interesting.
I don't believe I have, no.
So the way it works is at the top of the program, he'll say something like, welcome to the show tonight. My guest is going to be so-and-so. Mm-hmm. And he said that he did that with Prince. Prince played for maybe a minute on guitar. Mm-hmm. Then they go into the theme song. Yeah. And he said the reason I'm telling you the intro to that program is because of the next part of the story. Yeah. Okay. He knows that Prince is going to do the show for maybe a month. And a couple weeks before it happens, Prince calls him and says, I need the color palette for your set. So Tavis Smiley is thinking, this is weird, but okay. He calls up Venus Williams. Wow. Because Venus Williams designed the set for his show. Mm-hmm. She was thinking about getting out of playing tennis and going into fashion, apparently. Or design, I don't know.
Yeah, I think she's still in tennis.
Yeah. I'm sure that alone is just like an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but he gets the color palette, reaches out to Prince, let him know, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay? Maybe about a week before the taping, Prince calls again and says, what key is your theme song in? Tavis says, I don't know. I think it might be this, but I'm not 100% sure. Mm-hmm. Prince asks for a copy of the theme song. So
he didn't he ask for the chords?
I think it was a key. I could be wrong.
Okay.
So he gets a copy of the theme song, and Tavis doesn't really think anything of it. Okay? Comes the night where they're supposed to record the program. Tavis gives his introduction. You know, I'm Tavis Smiley. Tonight we have Prince. Stay tuned. Prince plays a little bit of the guitar, mm-hmm. goes to the opening theme song. They do the interview. Goes well. It ends. And Prince asks Tavis, what are you doing later? Mm-hmm. Tavis responds with, I got to do a couple more interviews, but I'll meet you for dinner later. Mm-hmm. Okay. Prince rents out a restaurant, and Tavis said that he used to do that all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
He rents the whole restaurant?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Tavis goes to see him. They're hanging out and talking, and a couple hours into it, Tavis says, I'm just curious, man. Why did you want to know the color scheme of my set and the chords to our theme song? Mm-hmm. Prince says, you didn't notice, but look at the tape. I was sitting on a bar stool that I had painted the color of your set so it would look a certain way, like I was floating. Mm-hmm. And the reason I wanted to know the keys of your theme song was because I wanted to make sure that the musical transition was smooth, because a dissonant transition can be bad for the ears.
Yes, it could.
And Tavis, the sense I got was his takeaway was, yes, Prince is a natural genius, and at the same time, he also knew enough to pay attention to really small details. Mm. And that's why he was who he was, mm-hmm. because he could recognize those things and how important they were.
Wow.
What do you think of that story?
That's interesting. Like, I never would have thought of it, mm-hmm. but I can understand why, because that's how an artist's mind works. They are very creative, and I don't know that I would pay it. Well, obviously, because I can't see the colors. But I wouldn't have thought of it that way. I mean, wow, that's kind of interesting.
Would you thought of the theme song thing?
That's a really good question. Sometimes I would think, like, if I was listening to a theme song to a show, I'd be like, where did they come up with this theme song? It's kind of cool. Or I wouldn't use this theme song. I would use something else. But I don't think I would think about the details of the chords and the chordal structure and the key.
And so Tavis Smiley said, tonight on our program, we have Alana Jaylo. You wouldn't think about how your song transitioned into his.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't think of it to the last details, I'm trying to say. I would think, okay, maybe I should use this song and it could what do you call it? A transition into the theme song. But I wouldn't think of it to the last, chord. If that makes any sense.
I hear you.
Yeah, because I don't think that way, I guess.
There's a couple more really interesting takeaways from that interview. Tavis, as you may know, was fired from PBS and NPR in 2017 during the whole Me Too thing, right?
I heard about that a little bit, yeah. I didn't really pay attention to all that, but I heard about that, yes.
I wasn't privy to all the details.
Yeah.
But something I learned during this interview is he actually sued them. And he said, one day I'll talk about this and I'll give you the figures, but they come back to me and say that they want to settle.
Yeah.
First, it's a small settlement. And over the time that we're waiting to go to trial, it gets bigger to the point where it's the first day of the trial. Lawyers for, I guess, I don't know if it was, I'm assuming it was a joint lawsuit. So lawyers from like PBS and NPR come over to my attorney, and it's supposed to be our first day in court. They give my attorney the figure, and he said it was millions of dollars.
Wow.
And the attorney called me up and said, as your attorney, I got to recommend that you take the settlement.
Okay.
Tavis does the lawsuit anyway and loses.
Wow.
And he says, I'm appealing right now. And he says, I only tell you that it's millions of dollars that I could have gotten for them to let you know that for me, it was never about the money. It's about clearing my good name. And I believe that a good name is more important than any money you could get in this life. And he was like giving some Bible quote about that too.
That's actually what that actually does say that. It does. And I would agree with him on that.
Yeah, he didn't say it's somewhere in the Bible. He actually, said it says this and this, but I wasn't, I don't know.
Yeah, that actually is what it says. A good name is more important than that.
That was really interesting to hear him talk about, I thought.
Yeah.
The other thing, there was actually two more things. His relationships with ex-presidents, Bill Clinton, I thought was interesting because they were kind of tight. And he said at one point, I was in a position to where I was going to the White House so much that I would actually turn down invitations because I was just there so often.
Wow.
But then he starts talking about Obama, and he said that he liked Obama, he had him on his show, but he got a lot of pushback from people because he criticized Obama. He said, I voted for him twice, but he did a lot of things wrong in office. And I'm not just here to be a mouthpiece, even if I like somebody. I still got to be honest about what they do or don't do correctly.
Right.
I thought that was cool.
That is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, because he said, I still voted for him, but I thought he was a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I guess my question would be, that's cool, but my question would be is why would he vote for him a second time?
Well, you got to look at who the alternative is, right? And sometimes when you're voting, or just in life in general, when you make decisions, it's you choose the best decision you can at that point. It's not you get a choice between great and horrible. You get a choice between pretty good and horrible. And sometimes pretty good is better than the alternative.
I guess. Oh my goodness. So he sounds like a complex guy.
He does. Religious dude who's pretty progressive, has had his issues. The other thing, he bought a radio station last.
Which one?
I think it's called, I'm going to have to check it up. I want to say it's like KPLA or something.
Huh.
It's a Los Angeles radio station, obviously.
Obviously.
And he said it's really difficult. It's the hardest thing he's done in his career. And I guess there are only 5 owned black radio stations in the country, or black owned talk radio stations. And his is one of those.
Oh, wow.
And he said that he was talking to Prince one day, and Prince always said that, oh God, I hope I get this right. If you own your masters, you're the king, right? So your masters in the case of Prince would mean the master recordings of his songs. In Tavis's case, it would mean his archives of interviews and whatnot. And the intellectual property, of his books. But then he said he's talking to Prince one day, and Prince said, but owning your distribution, oh God, I forget the quote. It was really good. But Prince also basically said to him one day that you also need to own the means of distribution. And that kind of inspired him to want to have his own radio station. That's really interesting stuff.
Yep.
I thought it was a great interview. Even though Vlad didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you like what I told you?
It's interesting. It's interesting. I don't have a lot to contribute because I don't know. I didn't watch Tavis Smiley's show. I've heard of him. People have talked about him. So I know who he is. I know of him, but I never watched the show. The
only two things I wish that they would have addressed were the rumors about Aretha Franklin. And they touched on it, but I wish they would have gotten into more details about him being fired from BET. But other than that, it was really good. Now, he claimed in the interview that it was because he did an exclusive interview on ABC, I want to say, with this woman who was on the run for years. He offered it to BET first, but they didn't want it. And that's why he was fired.
Oh, wow.
The rumor I've always heard was that he was actually really difficult.
Oh.
And it wasn't that he was a prima donna, but he would bring up subjects on his show that the executives were uncomfortable with.
Oh, wow.
On the BET show.
Okay.
Yeah. I always thought that he spoke his mind, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a really good interviewer, too.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah. So that's what I learned there. Jaylo. Yeah, and he lived with Jim Brown for a year.
Oh, wow.
I didn't finish that part. When he moved out to LA, he lived in Jim Brown's guest house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's cool stuff, babes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Does this make you want to either read some of his books or watch some of his old stuff on YouTube?
I don't know. Possibly. I don't know. I just don't. Maybe it's a question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I was on Facebook this morning.
Uh-oh.
And today is an anniversary of one of the times I performed at Columbine High School.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many years ago was this?
6 years ago.
Was it really 6 years ago?
I know. Time flies, babes.
Wow.
I remember that performance like it was yesterday.
I thought for some reason it was like 10 years ago, but I don't think that was right.
At least according to Facebook. That's what it was.
Oh, wow. But you went there twice.
Yeah, this was the second time.
When was the first time?
The year before that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Today is also my cousin's birthday.
Do you like your cousin or hate them?
I love my cousin, Bubs.
Oh.
Except I don't know the number, so.
I go ask, but you too much work.
No, it's kind of a weird situation.
You want to get into it?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to get it. There's some things that I will talk about when it comes to my family, but not this one.
Oh.
It's a little too yeah, it's personal.
All right, then give me a kiss instead.
No.
All right, then talk about your cousin.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Babes. Do you still have morning breath?
No, I don't. Why would you ask that?
It's not like you have morning breath. I love you, babes.
I gargled. Thank you very much.
Thank you, babes. Thank you for gargling.
That's probably you.
No, I'm having fun here, babes. Babes, I love you.
No snacks for you.
What? No, snacks for me.
You be good boy.
I always am, babes. We all know that.
Oh, my.
I'm curious.
Yes?
I don't know if I've gone into the details, but for obvious reasons and some that maybe aren't so clear, performing at Columbine was pretty impactful on me.
Yeah.
I want to know from your perspective, outside of the time when we first met, what's been another performance you've been involved with that you feel is essential to who you are as a person?
Who I am as a person? Wow, there's so many, because I've performed, in front of audiences, and I performed in ensembles, and I mean, I'm excited because I'm thinking about joining one in September, and that's going to be fun. I just wish it wasn't so far. But besides that, there was one, I don't know if I told you the story. There was one time, I think it might have been the year before I graduated, my university's flute choir that I was in, we performed at several places, and one of the places was a place called Bailey Boucher House in Seattle, and it was a place for AIDS patients, and we played for a group of people. We also played for somebody in a room that wasn't really paying attention. I think they were kind of like not. They I don't know if they were like doing something, or they didn't really give us any reaction. But we broke up into groups, and me and a couple of the girls, I think it might have been 3 or 4 of us, we went to play in this guy's room, and I forgot what his name was, but we played I think we played a piece for him, and he just started tearing up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but I can't believe there's all these flutes, and they're real flutes." And I wasn't crying, but it was I think we really impacted him, and the reaction we got really the reaction that he gave us really impacted all of us, I think.
It's interesting with the Columbine thing. People, I think, younger than us or older than we are don't really know. They hear about it, but they don't know how impactful that event was for people of our generation.
Yeah.
And in a similar way, AIDS is still around.
Yeah.
But the treatment has gotten much better over the years.
Yeah.
So when did you give this performance?
I believe it was I think it might have been 2010 or 2011.
Okay. So it wasn't in the 90s, but still at that time, it was a big deal. And you grew up in an era where everybody heard about AIDS and everybody was concerned about it.
There was some mass hysteria around it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it was, I mean, this was a different kind of venue that I've never performed in before. And I don't know how old this man was, but I mean, at that point, I didn't know like how, I don't know if he was going to be really, really sick enough to hear it. There were people that we couldn't play for because like one of the women in that house was actively dying, so we couldn't play for her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the one person we played for, the one that wasn't really paying attention, was a woman. But that guy, I mean, he was so engaged. And he just, the way that he reacted, I mean, it was a very emotional reception. And that was one of the most impactful performances I remember.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
How old were you the first time you knew somebody who was HIV positive or had AIDS?
The only person I can think of was the guy I went to college with.
Oh, that's interesting. The first person I knew, and I knew her before she had it, I met when I was like 8 or 9, and she got it like a year later.
And she was...
without giving too many details, she was pretty close to our family.
Wow.
Yeah, and she was very, very, very young.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I can honestly tell you that the one person I knew that actually had it was a person I went to college with here. And unfortunately, we're no longer talking because he he went to another country and things didn't really end well, as far as he's concerned. So it's very sad, but he's really the only one I know of.
It's a crazy thing. I still get freaked out when I hear that somebody has HIV, even though, again, I've heard that it's more treatable, but it was just so instilled in us growing up in the period of time that we did that AIDS is something you do not want to get anywhere near.
Absolutely. And even like that one scene in Eyes Wide Shut in the late 90s, right? And when Domino is a prostitute, so when her roommate says, oh, by the way, she got the test results and she's HIV positive, it still freaks you out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Because and you know why it is, because now we know more about HIV and what it does to your immune system. Autoimmune diseases are not something you want to get, even if they are treatable.
I remember in a human sexuality class I took in 1998. I think about this class a lot, actually. There was an AIDS patient who came in.
Wow, really?
And they said, people are going to tell you on the news that look at somebody like Magic Johnson. He's controlling AIDS and you can control it with medication and live a perfectly normal life. If I remember correctly, but his response was, yeah, you can live a life, but the medication will still do stuff to you. So his example was, imagine having it just be a regular thing that you wake up in the middle of the night and your sheets are dirty because of night sweats.
Oh, I heard about that.
He's like, that happens all the time because of the medication. He's like, that's just one thing. Yeah. But that always stuck with me.
I also heard about thrush.
Yeah.
Thrush is another side effect.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it sounds painful. It sounds really painful with those sores on your tongue.
Yep.
It sounds horrible.
He might have mentioned those too, but I know I've heard about that at many different places.
And also too, they're more prone to infections.
Yes.
He got the
Your
friend I told you about, he got this like horrible infection called Shigella. And I mean, it was just like, he told me that he was like violently ill and he wasn't sure how he got it, but they're more prone to infections. Back in the 90s, they were saying that if an AIDS patient got a cold, it was like a life and death.
It could kill them.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the flu even.
I remember that very well.
Yeah.
I know Larry Kramer survived for a while with it, but he wasn't a mainstream person.
Yeah.
But
well, he was like an AIDS activist, right?
He was, but what I'm trying to say is he wasn't like a huge star with AIDS. And what I'm trying to say is, whenever you would hear about celebrities getting it, you would just think to yourself, they're going to be gone soon. And the first one who really bucked that trend was Magic. It was huge when Magic got AIDS.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was. And then you also heard about Greg Louganis.
Yeah.
He had it. He has it. I think he's still alive.
Yes.
And then you hear about lesser known people like Joey DiPaolo. The one I heard about, where he got a transfusion when he was 4, but he's still around.
And then there are those other cases, like what was that lady's name, Kimberly Margalis?
Kimberly Margalis, who died really, really young,
17, I think.
Oh, so sad.
Eazy-E.
Eazy-E, yep.
Yeah, there's always that rumor that he was injected with AIDS.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true though.
I heard that singer Dionne Warwick made it a part of her life to do things for AIDS patients.
Well, good.
To help them out, like be a part of like AIDS causes. I know that Elizabeth Taylor was a part of AMFAR.
Well, that's because she was friends with Rock Hudson.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I heard about that, yeah. But no, I only knew one person so far.
That's interesting. And I think to myself today, because, yeah, AIDS is still around, but obviously back then it was a bigger thing. Also, back in the 80s and 90s, when we were really becoming aware of it, it's not that gay people didn't have any rights in this country, but it's not what it is today, right? And AIDS, whether you like it or not, was seen more as a gay disease.
Until we found out more about it, yes.
Yeah, until we found out more about it. And I wonder if AIDS, for whatever reason, came out now, where we have a lot more acceptance and tolerance for people who are gay in our society, as we always should have, but we do now. Would we discover a cure quicker because it wouldn't be perceived as this thing that these people over here catch. It would be perceived as a disease that anybody catches and people you love catch.
Well, you have to think about...
I don't know if what I said made any sense.
Okay.
Did it?
No.
So the culture around being gay has changed compared to what it was in the 80s when AIDS first came out. And I'm wondering if it came out today and was perceived as a gay disease, as it was in the 1980s, would we devote more resources to curing it now than we did back in the 1980s?
I don't know. And also, you have to understand why it was thought of like that, because a lot of men that were having sex with other men were getting it more.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to, I mean, I don't know that it had anything to do with prejudices. I think people were wondering what was going on because a lot of men, not women, were getting it.
It actually did have to do with prejudices. I'll give you an example. I believe when Ronald Reagan first acknowledged AIDS in his speech, it was like 7 years into the public knowing about it. And he said something like, only deviants catch this thing.
I don't know. I never heard anything. But I'm just saying, what I got from it when it was being reported on the news, it sounded like, well, why is it that men are the ones getting it and not women?
Yeah.
So that's how I perceived it.
No, I hear you with that.
So I don't know how to answer that question.
I need to reread And the Band Played On, because I had the worst timing when I picked up that book. I checked it out from the library, but it took a couple weeks to get the loan approved, right? I mean, to get it, because I was approved, but you know what I mean, to actually get the book. And I got it like a week before we shut down because of COVID. So I was like a chapter or two into it when we really started to feel things from coronavirus. I checked it out in mid-March 2020, not knowing that I was going to essentially be put on lockdown like a week after getting the book. Yeah. So I need to revisit it with a little bit of distance from that experience. Yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to say because I was a kid when AIDS was a thing, but I wasn't an adult.
Yeah.
I don't think that the country had the same reaction to AIDS that it did to COVID. It was scary, but it was a different type of thing.
Yeah, it was scary because, we didn't know, obviously you didn't know how it was caught. We didn't know why men were the only ones getting it.
Well, that's what it seemed like.
It seemed like that. And then, and then we find out later that it's a bloodborne disease.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it wasn't an airborne disease. So that was even scarier. And that it attacks your immune system and your cells, your white blood cells and your T cells. Yeah,
it's really sad.
It is very sad.
It's really sad that we lost so many people to AIDS.
It is.
And there are scientists who speculate that AIDS has been around for several hundred years, but it took a few people bringing it out of certain areas of Africa. And I know that sounds super racist, but this is what I've read. And that's what caused it to sort of expand.
I don't think it sounds racist.
Okay.
I mean, just because you mentioned another country, I don't think it sounds racist.
Yeah, I want to be mindful of how it sounds, though.
I think people today are so sensitive to that they don't want to. I mean,
I hear you.
You would agree, right? So people are so sensitive that they won't mention another country.
What's really interesting is I may have talked about this before, but also in the late 90s, I was watching 60 Minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it was Ed Bradley did a piece about a reporter in the late 1920s who died.
Wow.
And they had doctors re-examine his case and said that it was most likely from AIDS.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I wonder what that must have been like to catch AIDS so far back when nobody else knows about it. So doctors and yourself, you can't really contextualize why it is you're dying.
Mm.
What must that be like to be a victim of a disease that's so early on that nobody else really knows about it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know how you got it. You don't even know what it is.
Yep.
How could you tell somebody?
Exactly. Crazy stuff, babes.
It is.
Yeah, real crazy.
Real crazy.
Let's talk about, while we're on the subject of death, which everybody loves, in the 1980s,
Oh my
in a
goodness.
sense.
Yeah.
Because besides AIDS, there was a film series.
Mm-hmm.
Something else was big in the 80s called Poltergeist.
Yeah.
We did not watch it last night.
No, we didn't watch last night. I already watched Poltergeist.
Me too.
I think I watched, I think I might have watched all of them.
I only watched the first one in school in like the 90s.
Yes. Carolyn.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we both thought that Heather O'Rourke, who is a little girl from the movie, died from cancer.
Yeah, but she actually died from undetected bowel obstruction that they didn't take care of.
I think we asked Google last night, so I pull up a clip from Showbiz Tonight on YouTube from July of 1988. She'd been dead for a couple of months, but it was in the news, I think because the movie was about to come out, the last one she was in, and the mom was suing the doctors for misdiagnosing her.
Yeah. That's a tragic.
Yeah.
That's a tragedy. And now people are getting operated on for bowel obstructions too. And it sounds like a horrible thing to have.
But they did it back then because in the clip they were saying, or her lawyer was, that she would have had to have surgery if they had caught it, and it would have sucked for a little while, but she probably would have lived a fairly normal life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If they would have found that out, and yeah, that's horrible.
When you were asleep this morning, babes, I tried to find more about the lawsuit.
Yeah.
And all I could really learn was the family settled with the doctors, but it didn't give any financial figures or anything.
That's so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because she could have been making more movies. She could have been starring in some TV shows.
She legit could have been the next Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. So sad.
Yeah. There could have been like the Heather O'Rourke show on TV right now.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yep. Maybe she would have ran for Congress and become a MAGA mommy. Maybe it's good that she...
I don't know. I think it would have been interesting to see how she is grown up.
Yeah.
Would she have led a normal life, or would she have gotten into drugs or gotten involved with I don't know, or she would have been a lawyer or something. I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good babies.
Yeah. So we were kind of on that yesterday, but
sad stuff, babes.
It is very sad.
Yeah, real sad.
Oh my goodness. What?
I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah, real love. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get into dinner and the movies?
No. I don't think so.
What did we do last night for food?
We mixed some Zatarain's rice. It was the jambalaya mix and the red beans and rice mix, and I bought baby carrots, which we used all of them. I love baby carrots. They're so good.
They are.
Baby carrots. We were going to use a baby spinach, but it was wilting, and I thought it wasn't a good idea to do that. We used a baby baby carrots, a bell pepper, and corn. It was really good. And then we used a couple cans of tomato sauce.
Yep.
And then after all that was cooked, we used cheese and sour cream, which I still have some leftovers. It's really good.
And avocado.
And avocado, which was really delicious.
We also added some shredded chicken that you had.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wish I had more. I thought I did, but it was only like a cup and a half.
It wasn't even that.
It wasn't even that. I wish I had more, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But it turned out really good, and I have a lot of leftovers.
Nice.
A lot of leftovers.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
I'm glad to hear
that there, Jaylo.
How do you know I was going to say that?
Because you do all the time. And then for dessert, which you had later after the first movie, I bought a whipped cheesecake from the Edwards brand, and it tasted like the topping had lemon in it.
Yeah.
And the crust was super light, and
Nice.
it was really good. It was rich, but it was light at the same time.
Well, good.
And you said you liked it.
Yeah.
Super good.
Yes.
I wanted to buy a chocolate cream pie, but the pie that I wanted wasn't there, so I got the cheesecake.
Well, good, babes. Good.
Good, Bubs. Good.
Good, Jaylo.
Good. Good, Bubby. Good.
I posted a picture of it on Facebook.
The dinner?
Yep, got a couple likes, and
Ooh.
Tonight I will post a pic of chicken piccata.
With pasta.
Yeah, I say it like that because I've seen the Chef John from Food Wishes, his version of it.
A chicken piccata.
Chicken piccata, which means chicken prick.
Is that what it is? Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, because you have to poke the chicken.
Yes. What's that George Carlin thing? You can prick your finger, but don't finger your prick.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because he's talking about, I think it's during that routine, the 7 words you can't say on television.
Oh.
I would say that, but Alana would get offended. But he said, for some things, there's gray areas. You can't say this. You can't say that. You can prick your finger, but don't finger your prick.
Oh, wow.
We got to watch that documentary about him sometime, babe. Waking Up from the American Dream. It's a 2-parter. It's really good.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I think Judd Apatow might have made it, which is really interesting because there's no mention of his kids.
He does. Oh, Judd Apatow?
Yeah.
There's no mention of his wife and kids in the...
He always crowbars a reference to his wife and kids in everything he does, I've noticed.
Oh.
Which I think is a little bit annoying.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, you were about to say.
Yeah, I heard a clip of George Carlin when he's talking about all the things that are happening with, like, he's saying, I'm this and this and this, I'm radioactive, I'm blah blah blah, and he's talking about like the modern, like based on the modern technology that we have.
I know the piece. I think it's called The Downloaded Man. Is that piece?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Okay? I've been trying to figure out what this means. When people say that they're radioactive, what does that mean?
It's just something to say like I have a lot of energy and explosive, and you're trying to sound cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was like, is that slang for something that I don't know about? Because I know what radioactive means.
Yeah. Radioactive.
Radioactive. Yeah, I remember that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But George Carlin is cool. I know I'm part of the crowd, but he's one of my favorite stand-up comedians of all time.
Wonderful Wino. I like that one.
Yes.
We got the old tunes, the new tunes, da 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 da. And at the end, he's like, "Except we never play them." I forgot what it was called, but it was really funny. He's like, WINO, wonderful wino.
I have a friend who saw George Carlin live in the 90s, and it was when he was working on that special where he opens it up with, have you ever noticed that the women who are against abortions are the type of women who look like they never have to worry about getting abortions? So, which is a funny line. And I love George Carlin, as I just said, but there was a period of time where he was going through more of a preachy stage of his comedy. So I told my friend that once. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, when I bring up George Carlin, he's like, yeah, but there was a point in time where he was really preachy with what he was doing. And it's nice to know that my opinions have been co-opted. Uh-oh. Even though it would also be cool if I got the credit for that.
Uh-oh. Your friend was copying you.
I get that a lot with people, babes.
I'm kind of guessing who this friend is. I'm not going to say who it is.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yes. But one day we will watch the 2-part documentary on George Carlin.
Oh.
If you want to, babes, which you should.
Uh-oh.
So you can learn more about him.
Do I have to?
Yeah, especially since you're against cancel culture, right?
Yeah, I am, of course.
Yeah.
But, yeah, anyway.
George Carlin actually got arrested for speaking his mind.
He got arrested?
Yes,
Where?
he did. I want to say Cincinnati, but I'm probably conflating that with Larry Flint.
Oh.
But he did get arrested in, I want to say, 1972 after a performance on stage. And that might not have been the only time. And the case that he was involved with those Pacifica stations, I might have just been BUI, I think it is. It was a Pacifica station in New York, went all the way to the Supreme Court.
Wow.
Or is it WBIA? I think it is, actually, but I could have the call letters wrong. You know that case, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. A attorney is driving around New York, if I have the story right, with his son. The son's 13 years old. And they're listening to Pacifica. And the DJ from Pacifica comes on the air and says, we want to let everybody know that the next segment we're playing might be unsuitable for younger listeners. So please tune out if you're a parent.
Yeah.
And they played the 7 Words You Can't Say on TV by George Carlin.
Why didn't they just, change the channel?
I don't know. The lawyer decides to sue Pacifica, and Pacifica argues that it's free speech. It goes to the Supreme Court, and they side with the lawyer.
Wow.
Yep. Radio stations do not have free speech in this country. It's considered the public airwaves. Which...
But I don't understand, because the radio station gave a disclaimer,
yep,
saying, hey, change, and radio stations are still doing that. Say, this is not for suitable for younger listeners, so put on your earbuds or take your children out of the room. And I understand that, but why would they side with the lawyer? I don't get that.
I don't know. I went to the Supreme Court, though, in the 80s, I want to say, because it takes a while. And to this day, you are not allowed to say fuck on the radio. Or you won't be arrested, but the station will have to pay a fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, they do that on rock stations. Some rock stations.
The DJs do?
No, not the DJs. I'm talking about the what they're playing.
Really?
I thought I heard something like that.
It's possible that nobody's just reported it, and you did. I don't know. But occasionally you'll hear things slip, like, I think I was listening to Howard Stern once, and they might have even acknowledged it. It was, I want to say in 2004, Hoobastank, who had that song, The Reason.
Yeah.
I really do like that song. I know
that is a good song, yeah.
Some people don't.
That's the only song I know of them.
Yeah. They were setting up or changing equipment, and one of their members accidentally said fuck, and it went out over the air.
What about Casey Kasem? There was a clip of him reading something about some person's dog, and the mic was on.
The difference is the mic was on because he was recording. He wasn't broadcasting that live. And when you heard it, it was probably some bleeps over it, or you heard it over YouTube.
Or you heard it over YouTube?
Exactly.
Oh.
So I doubt you actually heard that on the actual radio.
I didn't hear it. No, I didn't hear it. I heard about it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is he didn't broadcast the word fuck. And if he did, he would have been fine. The FCC, or he wouldn't have as an individual, but the company that allowed that to go over the air would have had to pay a fee.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Which I think is ridiculous.
Well, okay, back to the lawyer thing. I think because he heard the disclaimer.
Yeah.
He should have done what the person on the station said and just change the channel because his young son was in the car, and then they wouldn't have any problems.
Completely agree with you.
He should have said, okay, well, we're going to listen to something more suitable for my son.
Who was 13 at the time.
Yeah, but that was his choice.
Yeah.
He was a dad. He wanted his son to listen to something else. He should have changed the channel. I don't understand that.
Exactly.
I don't get it. As long as there was a disclaimer, I would totally understand why this radio station would want to put that in there
Mm-hmm.
because he knew about it. He knew about it. He should have changed the channel, or at least, or maybe even turn the radio off and just had a conversation with his son.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
People are crazy in
but
this
people
country.
sue people for the weirdest things, like McDonald's being sued for hot coffee, or McDonald's being sued for getting a person fat when they knew what kind of stuff they had.
Oh, by the way, did you hear about the latest McDonald's lawsuit? In this case, it's actually warranted, though.
What?
I think they're being sued for the Department of Labor because at one McDonald's, they had 2 10-year-olds working there.
Which one?
I have to do the research. It was
crazy.
Yeah, it was somewhere in the Midwest, and they were, I believe, handling the air fryer. Not the air fryer, the deep fryer.
Because I've never been to any McDonald's where there was.
That's not in this part of the country. It's someplace else.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're trying to roll back child labor laws.
That is really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because you wouldn't. That's just crazy.
This just came out this week, so I don't know all the details.
Wow,
yeah.
I don't. Wow, that's really crazy.
But it's like we have child labor laws for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
And I get it. I think that kids should have the ability to work for money. I do. But
I think they need experience.
They do need experience. Having said that, it also needs to be in a safe environment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let a 10-year-old handle a deep fryer.
No.
And there needs to be reasonable hours so they can live the rest of their life. So I think the agenda that we need to roll back child labor laws is insane. Because there's very little distinction placed on how to do it, especially if 10-year-olds are going to be able to work.
I think if they're going to do that, because there are, they have shows like, what is that show called? It's not Chopped. It's, I forgot what the name of it. It was about, it's for chefs.
Okay.
But they have like, kids that actually got involved in baking and cooking and stuff. And I forgot what it was. It was a junior edition.
Yeah. Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about. It's on the Food Network, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it.
It's not Chopped. It is, it's going to drive me crazy.
But I get your point. And I think most people do too.
And that's really cool. But I think if they're going to do that, they need to start at home with their parents' supervision. Not at a restaurant.
Absolutely.
Fryer.
Because... yeah, cooking can be safe if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you've had enough life experience to not just know on paper what to do, but to actually practice good behavior in the kitchen. And to assume that a 10-year-old can do that is wrong. So I think they're being sued over this. I hope they are.
Yeah, that's just crazy. You don't do that.
No.
Because, yeah, I mean... That's just crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I'm blanking on the name of the show. Top Chef. I think it's Top Chef.
Okay.
Is it Top Chef?
I don't know, babes. I know I've seen it on their app though.
I like watching shows like the junior like baking competition or whatever.
Yeah.
And they have like a Christmas baking competition. They're working with kids that were on other cooking shows on the Food Network. It's really cool, actually.
I need to play you a show today.
What's that?
My friend in Atlanta, we talked about this here briefly, but we didn't really follow up. He interviewed one of the guys who's involved with the new Mighty Ducks reboot.
Yeah.
And he suggested that I play it for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think it's only like a 20-minute interview.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And since we know the guy who's doing the interview, it might make it more fun to hear it.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. His show is called The Spotlight Show.
Light?
I believe so. Which is not my friend's name, but...
no.
You know, it is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, good. So, yeah, there's lawsuits. People need to chill out a little bit and let kids live their lives also.
Yeah, I don't know. People sue for the stupidest things.
They do.
Not all the time. There are there are lawsuits that are important, but
the fake ones also take away from the people who have a legitimate grievance too, because it floods the court with unnecessary stuff.
It's kind of like when people make phone calls when they call 911 and they're not for emergencies. Yeah.
But then we also have crazy stuff in this country like tort reform. So depending on what you're suing for, if a jury awards you a certain amount of money, legally a company doesn't have to pay you that if it's above a certain amount. So the example I'll give to you is, I believe with ADA stuff, if you sue, the maximum you're allowed to get under law is $300,000. So let's say I have a very grievous case where I was done wrong and I sue because they mistreated me because I was blind. The jury says you should have $20 million. Well, it's great that they said that, but I'm only getting $300,000. That doesn't make any sense to me either.
I don't get
We need to get rid of that in this country too.
I don't understand it. I don't even know how that works.
It works because big corporations have paid off our leaders. And so they got this stuff in the law.
I mean, I don't know how that whole thing works as far as how the procedure works.
Okay, that's fair.
That's why I don't understand it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I still love you, babes.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to say before we get to the films?
No. I think we talked about a lot of things. Tavis Smiley, a lawsuit.
Heather O'Rourke.
George Carlin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll talk.
Oh my goodness.
We watched, speaking of dead performers.
Yeah?
We watched the Marx Brothers last night.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we did.
Started off with duck soup.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
There parts of it I was kind of sleepy, so I didn't get all of it, but I'll try to talk about what I know of it. So Margaret Dumont plays Mrs. Teasdale. I think she just lost her husband. Is that correct?
Yes.
She just lost her husband, who was the former Excellency of Fredonia. And the next in line is what's his name?
Groucho Marx. She selects him.
Yeah, he selects him, and I forgot what his name was. It's gonna drive me crazy. What's his name?
I don't remember.
I cannot remember what his name is, and it's really funny. When he selects him to be the new
She selects him.
When she selects him to be the new Excellency, he's not exactly ready to be presented because he's in bed. Fill in the gap there, please.
He gets on a fire pole, goes down, they do a ceremony, and Groucho is just kind of like running this place like it's his own playground to a certain extent. At one point, he goes to like a lunch that he's supposed to have. Groucho picks up a donut, I believe that's what it is, off somebody's table and dips it into somebody else's coffee. Harpo and Chico are in the mix.
Chico played Ciccolini, and he was one of the spies, and Pinky was Harpo.
Yeah.
And Harpo was doing all the funny things. Of course, he's a silent actor.
It's a loose plot.
Yeah.
But it's a fun movie.
It's really, really fun.
Yeah.
And so many people were helping Fredonia that the other country had to surrender because they got into a war with them.
The movie's very short. It's just over an hour.
It's really funny.
Yeah, real funny.
And then we watched A Night at the Opera. It was really good too.
Yes.
You go in now.
Okay. They're over in Europe. Groucho has an idea for the scheme. So
yeah, he plays Mr. Driftwood.
Yes. They get on a boat, Margaret Dumont and them, and Chico, Harpo, and this guy who's like a singer are stowaways.
I think it's Ricardo Baroni.
Who is
in love with Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this? Who's the lady who sings in the opera?
There's a really funny scene in Groucho's quarters where everybody's just coming into this place, and it's small already. But at one point, there's maybe 15 people in there. I think it's Margaret Dumont opens the door and everybody falls out.
That's Mrs. Claypool. And Mr. Drift was in love with Mrs. Claypool.
They make it over to America.
Yeah.
There's problems with the opening night. Ricardo sings, makes sure that everybody's free at the end, and everybody lives happily ever after.
What about Rodolfo? Rodolfo was supposed to be the one that was supposed to be Rose's leading man.
Maybe Rodolfo doesn't live happily ever after, but...
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. It's a fun movie.
They're both really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then we watched a movie on the tragic history of the Marx Brothers.
That was just a little piece on YouTube.
Did I say we watched a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm dyslexic. Get over, Bob.
It was like a few minutes long, and it was talking about all their financial woes, and one of their brothers died when he was a baby.
Yeah.
And so they named one of the brothers has the middle name of the brother who died.
Nice.
It was really sad. The interesting thing is when Harpo did his last performance and he spoke on the microphone for everybody to hear. Would
you recommend the films we watch to your family? If so, how do you sell them?
Absolutely. I think anyone who didn't know about the Marx Brothers, and I didn't before, I didn't know a whole lot about them until the movies we watched. Groucho is really funny. Chico, I don't think is as funny as Groucho and Harpo. And I guess there's like two other brothers that were a part of the Marx Brothers.
Zeppo and I can't remember the other one right now. But they both kind of left early.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So you had the three of them.
Mm-hmm. They were the main ones.
Harpo was so funny though.
I'm more of a Groucho person, but I get it. Harpo has some good stuff.
I do like Groucho too.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
They're a great team.
Does this make you want to watch any of Groucho's appearances on Dick Cavett?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Dick Cavett interviewed a lot of interesting people.
He did.
I mean, I told you about the one that I saw with James Taylor and Carly Simon when they were first married.
I really want to show you his interviews with Katharine Hepburn at some point.
He also did an interview with Janice Ian.
Yep.
And she talks about her song Society's Child and the controversy behind it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. At some point we'll watch Animal Crackers, which I know is considered their other classic.
Yes.
Yes.
Animal Crackers.
Yeah.
Good to eat and good to watch.
Well, good, babes.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to say about the Marx Brothers?
No, I wanna watch other movies of theirs. I think they're really funny.
Yeah. And maybe we'll even watch You Bet Your Life, which I haven't seen, but it was a game show that Groucho hosted in like the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's episodes of it up on YouTube.
Yeah, and then when it was a reboot, Bill Cosby hosted it.
Oh, okay.
But
What?
Don't make any comments.
What? Stop. What?
Don't make any comments.
I didn't. I just said okay. What? Yeah. Bubs will pull Cosby in your house going.
Bubs.
What?
What am I going to do with you, Bubs?
You're going to love me.
I already do. What else can I do with you?
I don't know.
Realize
that Bill Cosby and Michael Jackson are guilty. Ouch.
Your nose is greasy.
Thank you.
You're going to wipe that off.
Oh my goodness. Hold on.
Hey.
Hold on. Let me wipe it off.
No. Get away.
I tried using Alana's hands this now.
No, sorry. Yeah.
All right, babes.
Use your towel.
Oh my goodness. I was going to say, we'll just make it quick. Alana and I disagree about Michael Jackson. Everybody knows that. And I thought that they worked on a song together. It turns out that R. Kelly, when I say they worked on a song together, I mean Michael Jackson and R. Kelly. And it turns out that they did.
I think Kelly produced his
You Are
song.
Not Alone.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good, babes.
Yeah.
Yes, I won't make the comment that I want to make, but I have some thoughts about that. Anyway, babes.
Anyway.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say?
No.
You want to get me a snack then after we kiss?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Oh, good. Then I will get
I'm going to be eating snacks too.
Okay, good.
Bubs.
Let's...
Normally, please.
Okay. All right, babes.
What am I going to do with you?
You're going to love me.
I already do.
Oh, my goodness. All right, babes. Maybe we should wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.